we discussed changing cultural traditions in Europe 1300 to 1800. Okay. Today we will discuss about democratic and nationalist revolutions 17th and 18th centuries. Okay. First of all, we discussed about England, the Glorious Revolution, and American independence 1774 to 1789, and third one French Revolution. Today topic these are discussed. Okay, first one England, the Glorious Revolution. What is the glorious revolution? Glorious revolution means bloodless revolution. Okay. England, like any other country of Europe, was ruled by kings and queens at the beginning of 17th century. Okay. All the regions of Britain, England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland, these are the include in Britain. Okay. Who countries are included in Britain? England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland. These are the include in the Britain. Okay. Next, these countries ruled by the Tudor dynasty kings. Who was the ruled by these countries? Tudor dynasty kings was the ruled by these countries. Okay. The Tudors refused to accept the authority of the Pope, who was the head of Roman Catholic Church. This was in a sense beginning of British nationalism. The idea that the British were a distinct people who should have autonomous of the Pope and Roman Catholic Church. Okay. Soon, however, a conflict emerged between the Parliament and the King as to who had the supreme power in the kingdom. Who was the supreme power in the kingdom? Landowners and merchants elected representatives to the Parliament. Who was the representative to the Parliament? Landowners and merchants are the elected representatives to the Parliament. And the king needed the approval of such Parliament to levy any tax. Let us see what is the dynasty of the England. Okay. In 1603, James I of Stuart dynasty became the king of England. Who was the Stuart dynasty king? James I of the Stuart dynasty king. He was ruled in 1603. Okay. He disputed the powers of Parliament to question him. He believed that the absolute powers of the king were given by God and kings ruled by divine right, and therefore they should not be controlled by the Parliament. Who was the God and kings ruled by divine right? James I was the God and kings ruled by divine right. He was succeeded by Charles I, who dissolved the Parliament and ruled for 11 years without Parliament. Who was the ruled for 11 years without Parliament? Charles I was the ruled for 11 years without Parliament. Okay. In 1640, he was forced to convene the parliament for giving special grants as he needed money to fight some wars. So, this parliament, which continued from 1640 to 1660, decided to control the despotism of the king and his ministers. The long parliament punished the ministers and officers of Charles I. It abolished the special courts created by the king. Who was the special courts created by the king? Charles I was the special court created by the king. Charles I took advantage of differences within the parliament and tried to arrest his opponents. A civil war started between parliamentary party and the king's party, which lasted 5 years. Ultimately, Charles I was defeated and executed in 1649 and England became republic. England became republic. When was the England became republic? In 1649, England became republic. Okay. This experiment of republican government did not last long, and eventually in 1688, William of Orange and his wife Mary were invited by the parliament to occupy the throne of England. A new arrangement was worked out by which ministers were responsible to the parliament. When the glorious revolution or bloodless revolution started in 1688. Okay. Next one. The parliament supremacy was established and paving way for democracy. Now, the power of the king was not a divine right, but it was conferred by the parliament. Who was the king? Not a divine right. Who was the power of the king? Was not a divine right. In William Orange of the power of the king was not a divine right. The supreme power was transferred to parliament. Who was the supreme power was transferred to parliament? The William Orange was the supreme power was transferred to parliament. All this took place without shedding a drop of blood or firing a single shot. This transformation, therefore, is known as glorious or bloodless revolution. What is the glorious or bloodless revolution? It took place without shedding a drop of blood or firing a single shot. That is called glorious or bloodless revolution. When the right to vote in England, all adults by 1928. The all England people's right to vote, all adults by 1928. This is the glorious or bloodless revolution in the England. Next one, American independence 1774 to 1789. Okay. England had developed colonies on the eastern coast of North America. 13 states of colonizers had been established there. Most of them were occupied by people from England who had settled in America to cultivate land, run small workshops, and conduct trade. The English Parliament assumed powers to make laws for the American states, but the people of those states did not vote for the Parliament. The Parliament often passed laws that favored English traders and factories at the cost of the people of the colonies. The American colonies therefore raised the slogan, "No taxation without representation." What slogan the American colonizers? No taxation without representation. Okay, in 1774, representatives from all colonies except Georgia met in protest at a congress at Philadelphia. They requested King George III to restore to the colonies their previous rights. The king's attempts to suppress the colonies led to armed clashes between the British and the American soldiers. The Second Congress also tried for a peaceful solution. They appealed to the king not to impose taxes without their consent. The king regarded this as an act or rebellion and declared war in April 1775. The Americans finally won the war in October 1781 with the military assistance of France. The War of Independence came to an end with the sign of the Treaty of Paris in 1783. When the START Treaty of Paris in 1783, the America got independence in 1783 and Treaty of Paris. By this treaty, Britain recognized the independence of its 13 colonies. Britain recognized the independence of its 13 countries. These 13 countries in American colonized countries became a independent countries. Okay. What is republic? Where the head of the state is a democratically elected president, not a monarchy. That is called republic in America. Okay. Next one. The Declaration of Independence. The American Declaration of Independence was adopted on 4th July 1776 during the Third Congress at Philadelphia. Which day celebrate America Independence Day? In July, 4th in July. Okay, when celebrated America Independence Day? 4th July. Okay, when got independence America? 1776 July 4th got independence America. Okay, Thomas Jefferson was the author of the Declaration. Who was the American Independence Declaration founder? Thomas Jefferson was the author of the American Independence Declaration. Okay, it is the most important bit of in this lesson. It declared that all men are created equal and are endowed by the Creator with a certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. In 1789, the national government of the United States of America adopted a republican constitution. When the America adopted a republican constitution in 1789, America adopted a republican constitution. Okay, the division of powers between states and federal government was introduced with the efforts of Jefferson. Jefferson efforted of the introducing the government, federal government. Jefferson introduced the federal government. A Bill of Rights was adopted guaranteeing the freedom of speech, religion, and rule of law were enacted in the Declaration of American Independence. The freedom of speech, religion, and rule of law. These are the include of the Declaration, American Declaration. Okay, this paved way for the establishment of the United States of America. So, United States of America. These are the American independence. Okay. Next one, French Revolution. Next one, French Revolution. In 1774, Louis XV ascended the throne of France. He was 20 years old and married to the Austrian princess Marie Antoinette. Okay. Upon his accession, the new king found an empty treasury. Long year of war had drained the financial resources of France. Added to this was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at the immense palace of Versailles. Under Louis XVI, France helped the 13 American colonies to gain their independence from the common enemy, Britain. The war added further to the debate to meet its regular expenses, such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices or universities. The state was forced to increase its taxes. Yet even this measure would not have succeeded. French society in the 18th century was divided into 3 estates, and only members of the third estate paid taxes, and two estates are no paid taxes. Only third estate were the paid taxes. The society of estates was part of the feudal system that dated back to the Middle Ages of France before 1789. First estate, the French 3 estates are there. First estate, clergy; second estate, nobility; third estate, big businessmen, merchants, court official, lawyers, and etc. Peasants and artisans, small peasants, landless laborers, and servants are third estates people. Okay. Now, peasants were about 90% of the population in the third estate. They were only a small number of them owned the land they cultivate. About 60% of the land was owned by gentry. The church and other richer members of the third estate, the members of the first 2 estates, that is the clergy and the aristocracy, enjoyed certain privileges acquired by birth. The most important of those was the exemption from paying taxes to the state. The nobles further enjoyed feudal privileges. These included feudal dues, which they extracted from the peasants. Peasants were obliged to render services to the lord, to work in his house and fields, and to serve the army, or to participate in building roads. The church too extracted its share of taxes called tithes from the peasants. And finally, all members of the third estate had to pay taxes to the state. These include a direct tax called taille. What is the name of direct tax? Taille. And a number of indirect taxes which were levied. Articles of everyday consumption like salt or tobacco. The burden of financing activities of the state through taxes was borne by the third estate alone. This problem was compounded by failure of crops and increased suffering of the poor during those years. New words introduction: levies, clergy, tithes, taille, nobles. What is levies? Unit of currency in France, discontinued in 1794. Clergy means group of persons invested with special functions in the church. Tithes, a tax levied by the church comprising 1/10 of the agricultural produce. Taille, tax to be paid directly to the state. And nobles, meaning rich landlords. King's family members are called nobles. Okay. Thank you, children. Today we will discuss the French Revolution, the Glorious Revolution, American Independence. What is the Glorious Revolution? Explain. Okay. Today discuss about, write short notes. What was the effect of the Civil War on the king and the people of the England? What is the meaning of Civil War? Internal war in a country. Okay. Next one. Today work done. What was the effect of the Civil War on the king and the people of the England? What is the meaning of Civil War? Internal war in a country. That is called Civil War. Next question is, what is the slogan of the America? What is the slogan of the America in the independence time of independence? Okay. Next one, when the start of bloodless revolution. When the start of bloodless revolution. Okay, these questions are today completed. Okay, thank you one and all.